Okay, is everything working? It looks like everything's working. Hey Rob, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Looks like you're the only person here so far. So I guess you're the #1 fan. Hey, there's Ben. Oh man, well yeah, and I know you're all the way over there in Sweden, Ben, but yeah, so I will forgive you. But thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it. But you know, yeah, if you need to relax and go sleep, then do it, man. You know. And I almost didn't even do tonight, to be honest. Hey, Rob. Just because I was feeling antisocial, but I thought, you know, I should do the thing. I should do the thing. So I decided to do the thing. So here we are. Well, I guess I might just go straight to playing some game if you guys don't have a complaint against that. And so let's go ahead and go to that part there. Hey, James, how's it going? I'm just about to start doing some Octordal because I didn't do today's. I've been trying to remember to not do the Saturday games so that I can. Oh, you know what I have to do? I know Rob's not going to like it, but it's got to get done, man. It's got to get done. And hey, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There we are. Okay. Looks like everything is functioning properly now. All right, anyway, so what am I doing here? That one's going to be llama, isn't it? Oops, get in the right window, Bill. Hey, Nasal Penny, how you doing? Major, maybe? Okay. I mean, I hate it when I don't, you know, because they just make such horrible guesses, don't they? What is that going to be? That's going to be risky, isn't it? Okay. Squall? No. Dairy, maybe, on the end there. Okay. And adage, is that one there? A-D-A-G-E? Okay. And hey, Parker, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Usual, maybe. Yep, okay. Inlay. And I kind of placed my camera in an awkward place, so I have to kind of lean to I don't see what this is going to be. S. Scram. Nope. Scrap. What do you know? Okay. There we go. Let's go to do the daily extreme. Okay. Let's see. It's probably alert or something like that, isn't it, at the end? Excuse me. Hey. Well, I'm glad that you were able to hear. And I hope the cat is doing fine with her fluids and stuff. one could be Quoth. Hey, Javon. Could that be Frail? I'm going to use Plum. All right, that is going to be Frail. That is going to be Lurch. I don't know what that one's going to be. Foggy? Hazel. That's going to be Quoth, I think. And so was Roxanne to that? Okay, well that's a half pound is, something better than nothing. Well, James, I don't know if my old channel is coming back or not. Not as of now. It's not that it's being denied me, from like nobody said, well, you can't have it back. It's just that they won't give me support. They just keep saying, you should try this, and then they send me a link, and it's like the links they send me don't do what I need them to do. So I don't know. So my plan is, because I have seen in many places it seemed, just because it's been repeated so much that I think it's likely reliable, is that you can get human support as a YouTube creator if you're partnered, which basically means you're monetized if you're part of the partnership program. I'm thinking if I can get this channel popular enough to get monetized, then I'll do that. Then I'll be part of the partnership program again, and then maybe I'll be able to get support that way. And then, so I don't know. That's my plan at the moment. If somebody's got a better one, I'm open to suggestions, so, but, yeah. Four of 20 pages. Well, that's something, isn't it? All right, man. Well, that's pretty good, isn't it? Because, like, see, what's an eighth is, what, like 12.5%, and then so half of that is 6 1/4 something. So, it's like, what, 6%? That's, decent. Oh, yeah, the channel is fine. I actually just got paid. All of that stuff happens automatically. Where it's going to suck is since I don't upload anymore, my views are going to go down because my views are always tied to my uploading. It's like, for whatever reason, YouTube, I guess, just chooses not to show you guys my stuff if I'm not regularly uploading. And so my views go down. And so my fear is that it will slowly just, my views will go down and down and down until at some point I'm not, breaking the $100 a month barrier or whatever, so I won't even get paid anything. But for the moment, as long as I'm getting views, I will get paid and everything should be fine. It's all automated, right? I mean, that's the problem. It's all automated. I mean, in that regard, it's good for me that it's automated because it just functions, but, whenever anything goes wrong with their system, or maybe not that it's wrong, but, not functioning optimally, they don't seem to be willing or reasonably able to, do a good job of it. So, anyway. Man, excuse me. How much time's left? I've covered up the clock. Wait, this way, what is it doing? Stop doing this to me. All right, now just, there we go, jeez. How hard can it be just to move things around? Well, I guess, anyway, so let me get back to the game here. Or actually, you know what, here, since there's a lot of questions, let me just go back to here. I'll come back to the game in a minute. I just feel like there's suddenly more questions than I realized, and I should probably answer people's questions. So, it's riots. Well, that would be cool, James. Yeah, leave comments, all that kind of stuff. I mean, all that stuff still works over there, It's just, I can't post over there, and I can't, keep growing the channel. So I guess I'm back to 0 over here, at least until I can get that one back. Anyway. Okay, all right, so I guess, there we go. I guess I'll go back to doing games again here. So let me go back to here and go there and then to this. And looks like Spiel and Banal. And the last one is what, roast? Okay. Yay, we've conquered the extreme. So I guess let's go to the classic. And so I have juicy anyway, yeah. So it could be blink, could be plink, could be all kinds of things. I'm going to put in plum. It's going to be blink. Kiosk, I guess. It's going to be a line, isn't it? And gamut. Smelt. Bulge. And I don't see what that is. Oops. Looks like I got more comments to respond to. I did make a couple of comments. I don't remember if I posted on the community tab or not. That's a good suggestion though, Rob. Huh, that's not a bad idea either, doing the spam thing. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing, is I just have to figure out how to, be more effective at getting the word out so that people will, find this channel. Verve, maybe? Yeah, was it? Okay. So, let's go to... Man, my throat is feeling scratchy. Do the sequence. And that could be fault. And vital. No, title. And think. And intro maybe. And large. What is that? So the L's in the middle, isn't it? Yep, L. Baylor, Paler. Let's put in plum. Okay, Baylor. Blink. Oops, punch. And oh, I thought that was going to be a video, but nope, it's what? Diode. Okay. And yes, there will be Mind Test Monday. Moon Test Monday because of the moon. Interesting. I don't know. I think I'll stick with Mind Test Monday just because I've been using it already. I kind of feel like it's kind of got a bit of a branding aspect to it. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's not a bad idea though. All right, this is the chill. So let's see what we can get here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in plum and waged just because, why not? I have plenty of guesses. Clamp, Solar, probably. Hotel. And Corny. And what is this? Sixth. All right. Brown and Union. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go back to just normal talking to you guys for a moment and see what it says. Is it okay to download music without paying for it? What, are you asking my permission? Or are you asking me what do I think about the morality of it or something? I mean, like if it's a situation where it's something you should have been paying for it, then you're not paying for it, then you're stealing. I mean, that's, you know, kind of, there's no getting around that. You know, but that's, you know, that's the system we find ourselves in. I do think the system should be structured differently than it is, because I think creative people ought to be able to be supported in such a manner that it doesn't have to be commodified. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I mean, well, you guys know me. I mean, I don't put anything behind paywalls, you know, as it is, just because, you know, I prefer to not to do that. I would like to, as a creative human, to, you know, put my things in the world and let you guys figure out whether it's worth it to you or not, and, you know, try to figure out how to, you know, make that into somehow I make money or whatever. But I would prefer to do it, you know, with the tip jar, sort of the busking model, rather than, you know, anything else, because that way it's like, you know, I feel like I'm giving the creativity to the world to, you know, do with as it pleases. And then yeah, I don't know, but that's my 2 cents. Anyway, shall we do some triggers this evening? I think I will. What's the? Oops, I buried the timer again. There we go. We still got a couple of minutes left. Well, you know, I don't feel like starting doing a trigger just now, so I'm going to go back to the game thing. And I think what I will do is I will just play a few minutes of the free round. So let's go back to here. Oops, sorry about the flash. Probably going to get another one. Oh, no, not so much. Okay. Pluck, okay, that's a good one. Natal, I think, is that one. So is that going to be grown or Oregon? Khaki, how do you spell khaki? It's a K-H-A-K-I, like that? Yeah, there you go. Macaw, maybe. And scrum. And atoll, maybe? What do you know? Liver is what I'm going to say. Oops. And, well, it's going to be either Oregon or grown, isn't it? I'm going to say grown. Nope. At least I had the space for it, didn't I? And what is it saying now? Oh, still have just a bit more than a minute, so I'll do one more, see if I can get one game in. And, risen. And edict or evict. So it's evict. And whiff. And widow. delta. What do you know? And it's about to go, I will go back to just normal. Or not necessarily normal, but just non-gaming. How's that? And Xbox or PlayStation. You know, I've never played either one of them enough to be able to have a preference. So, I don't know. I'm trying to think, what do the kids upstairs play? I don't know. I think there's multiple items of either thing, to be honest, upstairs. Because I think not everybody plays the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure my one nephew plays mostly PC games, while one of the guys who live upstairs is more interested in console games, you know, that kind of thing. So I don't know. Oops, there we go. It's time for my break. I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. And I am back. And there's Pooches making noises upstairs. Okay, so, all right, I guess I will do some triggering stuff now. Let's do, starting with the beard brush. How's that? Oops. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to bang the mic. I wonder what has the Pooches all worked up on a Saturday night at 8:20, whatever. Oh, how is the quality for everybody? Because I think I have everything more or less solved as far as all the drivers and stuff from the support guys. And I never really play that much with the settings on OBS. I sort of just, you know, well, yeah, just sort of let it do its thing automatically. I mean, except for, you know, like when I'm trying to do the green screen thing, I always have to tinker with the, you know, how to dial in the color or whatever. But, you know, I think that's just the way it is for the whole green screen kind of world, or blue screen or green screen or whatever. Thanks, Ben. Okay, now let's do some brushing noises that are just, oops, let me get some of the beard hair out of the beard brush. You can put that in the freaking waste thing. There we go. And I was about to start brushing more, so let's not do that. I'll just put more beard hairs in there again. Let's go over here then. That's cool. Yeah. It did seem that when I was editing it, that it looked like it was better as far as the, you know, the mind test stuff. Then, yeah. Which, you know, yeah. I'm really, I have to admit that it was sort of a double dose of disappointment, frankly, when this most recent Line Test Monday, after I was editing it, I was like, I was really, really just, I don't know what the right word is for it, but just really, really unhappy and disappointed that I'd lost all that work that I started on that building that I was making. You know what I mean? I was really getting kind of, I don't know, attached to the place or something. I was kind of interested in the way I was going to have it all turn out to be. But I mean, I suppose I'll probably get to be a similar state of mind with the new one, but it was disappointing to realize it. Yikes, that's all gone now. One thing I've been trying to keep in mind is those monks in India, the Buddhist guys that they probably do in other places other than India. I'm just thinking of films that I've seen. The guys that do the mandalas or mandalas or mandalas or however you're supposed to say that. With the sand, where they lay out all these really intricate designs with sand. Like crazy intricate designs. And then after they're done building these like large intricate designs, they like just go and get rid of it. And the idea is that to remind you that nothing's permanent, right? You know what I mean? And so I've been trying to remind myself that, all of the unpleasantness around, me losing access to the channel. It's like, all right, dude, yes, it's all kind of horrible in a way, but at the same time, it's, the world is what the world is. Yeah, I'm hoping that the new building will turn out good, Ben. I'm glad you like it, James. I think part of that is random to a degree, though. But, it might be, I did try to keep up with, all the updates and stuff on it, but it could be that, that this is just an improved version because it's brand new. But, yeah. Okay, let's see. I will do some tapping on the back of the beard brush. How's that? Whoopsie daisy. Let's do a little bit of whispering over here while I'm doing some tapping over there. And I will do some whispering over here while I'm doing some tapping over there. I'm doing some whispering over here while I'm doing some tapping over there. And I'm doing some tapping over there while I'm doing some whispering over here. I'm doing some tapping over there while I'm doing some whispering over here. And now I will switch. Good line, MSC. I don't know, maybe I could, because I did read it on the other channel, maybe since this is a new channel, maybe I should, reread it, It is Halloween season, right? You know, it just dawned on me what might be better to read would be The Telltale Heart. I like that one. Whispering over here while I'm doing the tapping over there. The never hood. And I'll whisper a little bit while I'm still doing some tapping over there. And I'm whispering over here while I'm doing some tapping over there. Whispering over here. Wednesday, what's Wednesday? What is Wednesday? Is there like a holiday or something on Wednesday? Today's the 4th. So 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, the 8th, October 8th. Is there something I'm forgetting, Ben? Or is it going over my head? Wouldn't surprise me. MS Paint Art of an Ox. I don't get it. Am I just being dense? Is that in Pacific Beach down in San Diego Pacific Beach, or is that Pacific Beach over in San Francisco Pacific Beach, or is it a different Pacific Beach altogether? I don't know, they don't do a Pacific Beach Fest over in Pacific Beach in San Francisco, not that I've ever remember hearing about, but you know, that wouldn't surprise me if they did things I never heard about, so. That's one thing I remember about living in San Francisco, is that there was always something happening, you know what I mean? San Diego, yeah. I used to like Pacific Beach when I was living down in San Diego. I quite enjoyed getting, you know, a tall can of malt liquor and putting it in a paper bag and going and sitting in the boardwalk and, you know, people watch. Wow, for 20 years, crazy. I never lived in PB, but I spent a fair amount of time there. I mean, I didn't surf or anything like that. I just liked hanging at the beach. I do have to say that now that I live back in Castro Valley, I don't go to the beach that much. Actually, I didn't go to that all that often when I was living in San Francisco either, although I did go once in a while just to go over to, like, near where the Sutro baths were and the Cliff House and all that. And But in San Francisco, I spent more of my time near water by the Embarcadero or Fisherman's Wharf kind of area. I didn't know there is a TV show, so it shows the difference, right? I mean, the minute you started with the quote, I was like, okay, that's Poe, but you know. I would agree with your assessment about public schools not being what they could be. So today's the 4th. I'm thinking I should try and think up some stuff to do for Halloween, and maybe that'll help me, you know, drum up viewers and all that kind of thing. Wow. That's cool. I never went kayaking when I lived in San Diego. I didn't really spend that much time on boats in San Diego either. I'm trying to think about how much time did I spend on boats. I'm not sure I ever went on anybody's boat in San Diego. I've been on some boats here in San Francisco Bay, but I don't think I've been on... I went on a couple of those, like those, you know, the things out in the bay that are, you know, those where you pay money and it's basically you're on a floating bar, essentially, is what it is. Spooky Bill Stream, yeah, I don't know, maybe. If I could think of some things to do on a spooky Bill Stream. I don't know. Spooky ASMR? No, I was thinking of like picking a few, maybe, well, like maybe reading The Telltale Heart or doing another version of the Raven. Maybe doing, you know, some stuff like that. Short stories that were kind of spooky or whatever from people like Poe. Poe's the only one that really comes to mind, but... Wow, I'm glad you had such a good time, Rob. That's great. Me throwing spiders at you. You know. Maybe I could go get that. I mean, I don't know. I'll try to think of some stuff to do with, because there's all that silly, just ultra cheap, you know, Halloween decoration crap, you know, that they sell at all like the dollar stores, you know. Maybe I'll try and think of something to do with that kind of stuff for... I don't know. We'll see what I can come up with. Well, you know, at least you have your priorities, Rob. Floating Head has been spooky enough. I just saw that. Yeah, he did, didn't he? About Poe, yeah. That is a creepy thing, though, from both sides of it, I think, which is why, right? I mean, that's got to be what... I mean, I know it's a very common fear for people. The whole idea of being buried alive is, you know, horrifying. You know, but it's also kind of creepy in that, you know, to be kind of the witness of it or something kind of thing, right? You know. Okay, Ben, I will hope to see you again in the future, man. Take care. Priorities fully in check. Cats, gaming, wrestling, movies, shows. Right on. I think it's time to... Oh, good timing on my part. It's about to be break time again. And don't worry, there's not going to be any ads or anything because this channel isn't monetized yet. But what is MSC saying? Yeah, it seems to me that isn't there like a whole mess of stuff like that there was like little strings and things that got left places so that people could like ring bells in case they were accidentally buried alive, that kind of thing. I don't remember. It seems to me I remember reading something about that a long time ago. Or maybe it was in a show or something. I can't remember. Wow. What kind of kit is it, if you don't mind my asking, Javon? Okay, wait. I guess it's time for me to have a break. I'll be right back, and then you guys can tell me about all the stuff. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, well, going back to it, man, that's crazy. I've never been to a place that I've worked at like that before. You know what I mean? Wow, that's going to be pretty crazy, man. Well, I hope it's a good experience for you, Rob. Huh. I don't know anything about the Questlove Pocket Kit, but I did know of a few drummers back in the day that loved Ludwig. Isn't that, I mean, I'm bad with those types of bits of trivia, but it seems to me I think Ludwig is what Bonham played, yeah? And now you actually will be back, right? Oops, I didn't do the timer. All right, well, we're going to be out of sync with the... All right, there we go. I forgot to turn it back on. And let's get back to the OBS window so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. I guess since it's not really ads happening, it doesn't really matter as much as just as long as I fairly frequently take a break. Yeah, that's crazy. That's more than, it's like, you're more than twice as old as you know what I mean? That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so what's next as far as triggers? I'm going to do the jar with the chopstick. God, I couldn't think of that word. Oh, about the guys that get the dimensions right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I suppose it's kind of funny in a way, but I felt, kind of looking back on it like it was, yeah, right. That's what I was thinking of MSC. I hadn't made the connection to the in my memory about the phrase "Saved by the Bell," but yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Feeling a little self-conscious there, Rob? You have to remember, Rob, you are what you eat. Rock bottom confidence. See, that's why everybody should have wakes, right? You know, if you just have wakes that last a really long time, you know, have a big party that lasts a few days, you know, and then give the time, you know, the person time to make sure they're good and dead, right? Medical conditions that people didn't understand then, you know, people would be mistakenly buried alive, yeah. I mean, I doubt it happened as often as the paranoia would have people, you know, afraid of it as, but I don't know, maybe it happened a lot more than I was ever aware of, but it happened enough that, you know, it was made note of. Anyway. Bass Pro Shop. Okay, I don't really fish, but, you know, I wouldn't mind, you know, tagging along for just being out in the, hanging out in nature for a minute, but let's see, what should I do for, what should I do next? What should I do next? How about the good old chunk of wood? And then maybe I'll go back and play some more nocturnal. Wow, I never heard the one about them burying people upside down. That seems like a silly thing, though, that, I mean, I guess, well, I don't know, wouldn't somebody be able to turn themselves around inside a coffin? Are coffins that confined that you can't just kind of rotate your body around? Javon is releasing his inner Beavis and Butthead there. So I'll do a little bit of whispering over here while I do some tapping with the pads of my fingers over there. Yeah, I suppose you're right, MSC. You know, I used to have an MP3 player, Javon, that I really quite liked. I think I might have mentioned this before. It was pretty inexpensive. It wasn't like, well, it wasn't a name brand anything, really. I mean, it certainly wasn't an Apple thing, but... And it didn't have the, you know, the largest capacity or anything, but I could put, you know, a lot of listening times worth of stuff on there. I do a little bit with my fingernails now, too. And I'll just do a little bit of tapping with my fingernails over there. Tapping with my fingernails over there. While I'm doing the whispering over here. And I'm doing the tapping with my fingers over there. While I'm doing whispering over here. And I'm doing tapping over there. While I'm doing whispering over here. And I'm doing tapping over there. While I'm doing whispering over here. You know, the thing in Star Trek, man, somebody told me this, and I don't know if this is really part of Star Trek lore or whether it's in a book somewhere or something like that. It's not anything I came across that I've seen. I think I've seen all of the TV shows. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. Although I'm not a hardcore Trekkie or whatever the hell. But anyway, the thing that I remembered that somebody had said to me is that the ship has this automatic system that it beams poo out of people. In truth, I think it's just a byproduct of our screwed up cultures, you know, insecurities around anything to do with bodily functions, whether they're to do with, you know, hygiene or waste or sex, or it doesn't matter really, right? We just seem to be really screwed up about that kind of thing, which is really unfortunate. Man, I wish I could remember where I got that bit of info on that Star Trek thing. So I'm wondering if it's one of those things that's just urban myth sort of thing, that was ever part of the thing. You know, I don't know. Maybe by the 24th century we've evolved to not needing, you know, we just sweat everything out. I don't know, I would have thought that they just let the computer do it, you know. You know, no, I've never seen any of the Jackass movies. I have a hard time watching a lot of those practical joke type things. I don't know, a lot of times I just end up feeling like kind of uncomfortable. You know, especially all the just things where it's like guys getting hit in their balls and stuff like that. I'm just like, yikes. I was never a big fan of the Three Stooges either. I remember as a kid, all my friends thought it was hilarious, and I was like, I just don't get it. graffiti in the 80s was a weird, I mean, there was kind of a big explosion of it as far as it being, you know, a pop culture thing. Both from, you know, people despising it for being, you know, destructive as far as it being considered vandalism, and but then of course the whole thing about it being come to be accepted as an art form in and of itself, right? I like a fair amount of what I've seen of Banksy's. I haven't really followed him closely, but I thought the thing about with that piece of work that got destroyed, I thought that was, or at least partially destroyed, you know, I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. You know, MSC, also what I was saying earlier about our culture's, you know, kind of strangely insecure things around bodily functions and stuff like that. When you said, you know, that about sci-fi fans, I was just thinking, because when I was a kid, I knew, you know, well, I was a sci-fi fan and knew a bunch of other sci-fi fans, and there's a lot of sci-fi fans that are also similarly insecure about bodily functions and the like. So, yeah, seems like maybe there's a double layer of it going on with the Star Trek universe, possibly. I don't know. And I'm all itchy now. Wonder what's causing me to be itchy. What am I going to do now? Let's do brushing on the microphones. How about that? Do that for a few minutes. Doing some brushing on the microphone. Doing some brushing on the microphone. Brushing on the microphone. And brushing on the microphone. And brushing on the microphone. Yikes. Yeah. Burning yourself is not a pleasant experience, so yeah. Hey, Kate Manda. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. And oh, by the way, for those of you who go to the Patreon for whatever, I have one of the few things that I have access to back is Patreon. Patreon and my bank. Those are the only two things I managed to regain access to. That's funny, MSC. think I've mentioned, well, I know I've mentioned before that when my mom, among many things, had my sister and I be involved with was artsy, crafty type stuff, and we did some playing with clay. I haven't really done it as an adult, but man, as a kid, I really enjoyed playing with clay a lot. What's the time getting to be? Okay, we're getting down close to another break coming up. Whispering with some soft speaking and that sort of thing, yeah. While I'm doing some brushing on the microphone. And I will brush over there while I whisper over here. And it's just about to be break time, so I guess I will be right back. See you in a couple of minutes. Yeah, I just thought I'd try an experiment. I'm about to start another batch of homemade ginger ale. Anyways, I've got out my ginger bug, which here you guys can see. There it is. It's ginger and sugar and water. Anyway, I was going to see if it could... Can you guys hear it? I don't know if that's loud enough for you guys to hear or not. But anyway. Oops. All of the critters are making carbonation. All right, sorry about that. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting. Oh, I've also successfully made myself a batch of kombucha as well, which is an entirely different process, but yeah. And I will tell you this, that homemade kombucha is way better than store-bought kombucha, so it takes a while. Kind of a pain in the butt, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely love doing the whole ginger bug thing, though. That is fun and tasty. And theoretically good for your gut. So what's next? You know, I'm going to play some more... Oh, actually, you know what? Give me a sec. What I'm going to do is actually I'm going to do this. Let me get this over here like this. Let me go to... Wait, did I not bookmark it? I guess I did not. Here we go. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it. I was looking for Mastermind. I just realized I didn't have it bookmarked. This isn't the right one. So sorry you're staring at me. Here it is. This is it, yeah. All right, yeah, there we go. There we go. Here, let me do this first. And then, yeah, no, I'll go ahead and do that. Boy, you can tell I'm a real pro at this stuff, aren't I? All right, so now let me go to, oh, actually, no, I need to do this first because I have to switch over to here to do that, and then I need to go to here. And then I need to do this here like that. There we go. Now I can do this. And I can say, where did it go? Here we go. Let's do some Mastermind. How about that? For a few minutes anyway. No red. Carbonation critters, yeah. And hey, we have yellow. What? Oh, there we go. Okay, we have green and yellow, but haven't got yellow dialed in yet, nor green really for that matter. Okay, we got both yellow and green dialed in now, but pink is not in the puzzle. Let's test white. Yep, which one now? Is it that one? Yep, I did guess right, but it's not black, it's the purple. And this should be that, and that should be the end of that. Yippee-yay. Where do I get carbonation bugs? You just let them find you. It's really just yeast. I mean, that's the funny thing about it, right? It's just sugar and ginger, and that's it. And you let naturally, occurring yeasts. Well, a fair amount of them actually live on the ginger. They're native to the ginger, right? Which is why, they evolved there, which is why you use ginger. But you could use things other than ginger. Oh, hey, what do you know? But no pink again, so. Alright, it's not white in there this time, though, either, so. Since there's only 2 colors left and there's only 2 spaces left, let's just go ahead and dump them both in. And what do you know? Good guess. Yeah, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube about how to do your own ginger bug thing. Well, actually, all the fermentation things you might want to do at home. For how to make kombucha, how to make, ginger ale. How you can make, kefir or kefir, or however you're supposed to say that. And, kimchi or sauerkraut or any of that. I mean, it's all basically just microbes that do cool things for humans that we've figured out how to, get them to do work for us. Okay, blue's in the right spot. Okay, we have to switch the other pink one. And let's introduce the black. Oops, there we go. Nope, it's not the black one. It will be the purple one. So let's put the rest of these in there. And I got another comment to go look at. Give me a quick. There we go. Hey, what do you know? Okay. Well, okay, so if you're starting all the way from scratch, Kate, here we go, switch to the, so you take, you start with some basic water, a bunch of ginger that you grate up or cut up or whatever, and then usually it's like the same amount of sugar as you put in for ginger, right? And you put that in some water, like a mason jar, and it usually takes I think it took for me to get it from just being, water, sugar, and ginger just sitting in a jar, with I used a coffee filter to cover to keep, bugs and stuff out of it, but that would still allow the, air to exchange and let the yeast get in there. It took me about a week to actually get a bug to work. And then, of course, I think you guys probably heard my woes of, failing several times and having to start over. But after you get the bugs, so you have a living bug, which is, just sugar and water and ginger, but, the critters are doing their stuff. Like, you can keep it in the fridge and they kind of go dormant. You take them out of the fridge and let it thaw out for a day or so, and then they go active again, and then that's what you use to, then you just take like a bunch of other sugary water of some kind and you put some of the ginger bug in it, and they will eat the sugar in the, whatever it is you put it in, and make that carbonated as well as, yeah. I mean, that's basically the thing, right? And then they're good for our gut. So if you ingest said soda pop made it with the ginger bug, then you get the, the probiotic stuff. Now, if you really want the full advantage, the idea would be that you would make ginger ale, because then you keep, the whole health benefit of the ginger thing going. But anyway, so after you get the ginger bug, then you add that to, when you're actually trying to make it, that you're going to bottle it. Usually what I do is I make a wort, so I'm telling you guys the whole process. So you do a thing like a first fermentation for a couple of days, then you put it into bottles, then you ferment it again. So if you're starting from zero, having zero any ginger bug, all the way to a bottle of ginger ale that you're taking out of your fridge that's nice and cold for you to drink, is probably at least 10 days, probably more like 2 weeks. But now that I do it and, that I've got a ginger bug, it just takes me, I don't know, about a week or so, I guess, to make a 6-pack of, 6 pints of ginger ale. And that costs ginger, water, and sugar. That's it. All the best fermented cabbage dishes come from areas we were at war with. Right, right. Korea and Germany, right. Yeah, and just for more kind of cool bits of trivia about the whole ginger bug thing, I did do an experiment where I bought grape soda and I drank a cup of it out of the bottle, and then I just dumped some ginger bug into the grape soda and let it be there in there for just I guess it was like 3 or 4 days before it got fizzy, and then I made homemade grape soda. Now it's tasty. It tastes better than soda, the store-bought soda, I find, but it still has a lot of sugar in it, right? Because the ginger bug eats a fair amount of sugar and turns that into carbonation. But yeah, it's not as much sugar as you would think. But the main thing is that ginger is really good for stomach issues, and if you do it with something like a ginger bug, where you're getting the living microbes as well as the other stuff for just ginger having chemical aspects of it that settle your stomach, it could be that's the idea anyway. It's good for your health and it's super cheap to make. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to go back to playing some Mastermind now. Let's go back to here and start there. And let's start with red again as usual. And there is red. So we will put some red there and I will try out the blue. No, but we can get that the blue has to go there. And then let's try a new spot for red. Nope. We know where blue goes, but not red yet. So let's toss in the green. Still don't know where red is yet, but well, actually we do now, don't we? It only has one place left to go. So let's put in the pink. Nope, no pink, but we have both blue and red finally in their places. So let's throw in the white. Hey, one of the whites are right, so okay, let's just switch the black and the white around. We'll leave the red and blue where they are, though. And there we go. Okay. What is Sean 8 code? Oh, C and 8 code. Oh, I see what you mean. You want to see me play a long one. All right, we can see about that. What I do is, since it's 8 and there's 8 colors, all of the colors are in it. So at this point, you're just trying to figure out where they go. So we don't know where white goes. And I don't remember, but as far as an exact number, but I know that there's a few of these that I haven't solved because I just ran out of guesses. Part of that's also I'm not used to playing these big ones, right? So, all right, I guess I just have to pick. I guess I'm just going to say yellow. Let's just move these. And now, so all but one are correct. Okay, so which one? I'm going to try yellow. And if that's right, then green only has 2 places to go, but of course red and blue still have a bunch of places to go, but nope, I guessed them all wrong. So let's go back to this line and let's try the green. Now we know pink does in fact only have 3 places to try. And so let's move red and blue each one. And I need to find a different home for yellow. Now, is that right? Yeah, I got everybody in there now. So let's throw up the white one. Oops, there we go. Still didn't get everybody right, or anybody correct. So let's see, so that was, I tried the green to there, let's try the red. And then we will move blue one, we will move pink one, we will move, I guess we'll move green to, where do I want to move green to? I guess there, and then red is here. No, we moved the red to there. So I guess I need white then, don't I? So who am I missing? Oh, the yellow. So I guess I want it this way if I'm going to keep it consistent. Let's put the yellow where the green is, I guess. Put the red where the white is. And where am I going to put the green? No, I want to put the green where the red is, excuse me. That's the way I want to do it then. Right? Is that the way we're doing it? That's the way I'm doing it. All right. Now what am I missing? I need the white. And so now let's add the black. Holy mackerel. I still don't have anybody in the right spot. All right. Well, it's either this blue or it's one of those green, right? Which is sort of a pain in the ass, isn't it? All right, so if we do that one, then, all right, then I'll move the white one there. We'll put pink one there. We'll put the yellow one here. We'll put, I guess, the green one here. And I guess, what will I do here now? I guess I'll put red over there at the end. And now I need to put the black one here. And we will add purple. Let's see what we get. Only one of them right. So which one? Yikes. See any good movies? Have I watched any movies recently? I'm trying to think. It seems like I have. I did rewatch actually the Fantastic Four, the Rise of the Silver Surfer, mostly just because a little nostalgic, because when I was a kid I really liked Silver Surfer comics as part of the Marvel thing. But I guess mostly lately I've been, if I watch things like that, I've been watching mostly TV shows. What have I been watching lately? I watched NYPD Blue for some odd reason. I started rewatching that from years ago. Yikes. Well, what do I think? Do I think it's the blue one? And do we just want to then just move everybody along one? Let's try that, I guess. The green. But then I need to move the red. Okay, the red can't go here. We've already tried it there. So where else have I not tried red? Well, I mean, obviously it's these spots here, but which way do I want to do this so it makes sense for me to... All right, let's take yellow instead. Let's put yellow over here. And let's put, I guess, the red where the yellow was. How about that? And now I need a place for the white. And I need a place for the black. Wait, now I need a place for the purple, right? Because the purple didn't go there. So who else needs to move someplace else? I'm going to try putting purple where the pink is, and I'll put pink where the purple was. And no, that wasn't. right? Let's try that. Oh man, I don't think I'm going to be able to solve this. Anyway, let's see. It could be which one? Let's try the blue and the pink, maybe. And I shouldn't have tried yellow there, should I have? Because it's neither of these. So no, yellow should be down over here then, shouldn't it? Alright, so it looks like red only has one less place left to try is there. So if I've guessed anything else right, and then green. Oh no. Alright, it can't be pink. If it's blue, it has to be green. Because the only other place left for green to try is that spot there. And I shouldn't have been trying any of those anyway, right? Because when I introduced, well, I don't know, we'll see. I might have made a mistake back here too, so that I'd just be compounding. So I have that. Who else? Where do I need else over here? I need purple needs a place. And white needs a place, but white can't go there. Alright, this isn't right. Okay. Okay, this can't be right because both red and white, if I've got things in the right spot, can't be there. So that tells me that, well, who is it that? All right, I'm going to try red and green there, and I'm going to use the black as that. Just so I can. Yeah, he was in rewatching it because I actually over the course I don't know how long it took me to actually watch it and to see, but I don't know, a while because I'd watch an episode here and there, maybe two or sometimes two, maybe even three episodes in a night if I was getting really ambitious. But mostly just I could watch an episode and then do something else, then come back a day or two later and watch another episode kind of thing. So it took me a while. Yeah, I'd never seen the very last season before, and I thought that was okay for, as far as TV goes anyway. All right. Holy mackerel. This is such a mess, and I didn't keep a very good track of it while I was doing it. So, if these are right, then that was that. That might mean that pink was here. Right. But then, okay. Then yellow would go here, right? Nope, because that would mean both of those. So where could yellow go? I don't know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe one of these is it back here. And that, let's try this. And then I could have pink. I could just keep pink there, I guess, couldn't I? So let's put purple where red was. And what do I want where? Do I want white where yellow was? Have black there. What am I missing over here? Oh, I don't have a spot for blue. I don't think blue can go. No, blue can't go over there. So where can I put blue and who can go over there? Who hasn't been over here that could be over here? Green could go over there, couldn't it? And then Yeah, the theme music was good, and all of the, just the soundtrack in general, I thought was pretty good. Holy mackerel! I don't know where I've got wrong here now. So if it was that, then that would have to be that. So that's not that. So let's say it was this, and then yellow goes here, and then maybe it is red and green here. Except for where does blue go then? I don't have a place for pink though either now, because pink can't go in any of those spots. And which two do I have here? So it could be pink. Let's say black and then purple. How about that? Oh, what did I do wrong? Which one did I put in twice? I put in blue twice. Holy mackerel. All right, so I'm going to say that it is yellow, blue. Which ones have spaces to go to is the thing, right? I think pink has nowhere to go. I think green has nowhere to go, right? Or does it? No, green could go here, right? And so that would mean that green, all right, so so we know it's not green, so that would mean that purple and red stayed the same, and that black and what? Black and what am I missing here? Red, blue, pink is what I need over there. No, pink is over there. The white. Nope, white can't go there, can it? Nope. So let's put white here maybe. Looking at that right, and the purple down over here. No, I made it worse even. Yikes. You know what, I think I'm going to give up. I don't see what's going on here, man. I've clearly screwed the pooch. So I don't know that it's these, but where would that put green? Right, it means green does have to be over here somewhere. So let's try this one back here then. And then what? Perhaps the black. Then purple can go here. Red can go here. And what else do I have left over there? White. No, all right. sure that these first three are right. It's just so not that one. Let's put the purple back maybe. All right, and then black could go here. White could go there. Yellow could go, nope, yellow's already done. What do I need a space for? I need a space for red. And what's red, blue, yellow, green, I guess, yeah. Well, this is probably not it, but nope, that was even worse. Oh wow, I didn't think I had any left. All right, well, I'm not even really trying at this point. I'm just going to plug some stuff in and see what happens. Oh no, it can't be all those. So it wasn't these. And so let's go back to here. Let me put this here right now. This isn't where I think the black's go. I'm just covering up spots just so I can try to make a half-ass attempt at seeing what I'm doing. So if that's right, and that's right, and let's just take them in order, I guess, just because why not? And all right, so let's try. I would go back here then. Neither of these two. Maybe I should make it be this, like this, then like this. No, we just did those. That one there doesn't work. But black might. Red might. So what is going to go there? Because purple isn't. But white is there maybe. So if this is that one. If all those are wrong there, that could be purple, I guess. I guess that could be this. No, we've already got the red someplace. I guess that could be blue. And I don't want those to be, I want this one to be black. What does this one need to be then? Nope, yellow. All right, now let's make this one be yellow then. I don't think it is, but we'll just see what happens. Nope. All right, I lost. Yikes, what time is it? Oh, the thing went. All right, I'm going to go take a quick break, so let me go back to here. Actually, I'll just go to the break thing, and I'll be back in a minute or two. Okay, I am back. And I want to do, yeah, you know what, I will go back to do a little bit more gaming, but I'm going to not do an 8-1, mostly because I'm too lazy. Oops, I keep wanting to go click to how to play for some reason to get the game started. Okay. So I guess I'll pick this one. And we'll toss that one in. Nope. So we will keep that clearly. And we'll put the green over there. We'll put the pink back there. And we'll try black. Nope. Wait, what the hell just happened here? I guess I put the pink there then, don't I? So pink, green, yellow, and purple. Right, there we go. And let's play one more, and then I'll think of something else to do. And nope. And yep, okay. And yep, but we don't know which green, and we haven't put yellow in the right spot yet. Let's throw in pink. Okay. Let's just move everybody over one. And we'll toss in the white. Yikes, so which one did I get correct? Well, let's see if I put pink here. And if I move the yellow, nope, that won't work. So let's say it's yellow. Let's say it's green. Let's say it's pink. And then let's say that it was white that was right. What do you know? I'm doing okay, the tyrant. How you doing? Thanks for coming by for the stream. Let's see what we have here now. I said I was going to do something else, didn't I? All right, well, I lied. It wasn't an intentional lie, I just... All right, so we know yellow has to go there. So let's try blue there. And green. Nope, but we know where these three go anyway. And all right. And nope. Hey, what do you know? All right, you know what I think I'm going to do is, let's go back to over to here, and let's open the crinkle bag. How about that? Let's open. Big bag of crinkle, right? So take that back. The metallicized plastic snack bar wrapper. Let's have it over here. Way over there. That's off camera, isn't it? Doing some crinkling over there while I'm doing a little bit of whispering over here. And crinkling and whispering. And maybe a little soft speaking too, just for why not? use a phone. Well, I use a phone to like make phone calls, and I do use a phone for texting. But no, I don't really use a smartphone. I find them fiddly. So like I don't. Yeah, no, I don't like watch movies on them, and I don't play games on them or anything like that. I use phones for communication, basically. I mean, I have used it to take a picture because I needed to send somebody a picture of a thing. Like the first one, actually the only one that really comes to mind, although I know I've done it several times, of taking a picture of your ID for cannabis delivery places before they'll deliver to you, right? They want to have a picture of your ID on file or whatever. And I'm not going to know how you're going to want me to pronounce that, man, for, well, Taz is at the end of it, so I don't know how you want me to call you, man. Taz, I guess I'll use, but I'm doing okay. The Dennis lettuce. Yeah, I guess that's a good enough description for it. I don't think I've ever heard it put exactly like that, but so what else out of the bag of cream? Let's do the combined pouch of both the paper and the bubble wrap. Oh my goodness. Audio, maybe this just clipped. Yeah, I will have a good night. Thanks, Javon. Glad you came by. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope to see you next time. Thanks, John. Yeah, usually this is a more satisfying sound for me, but tonight this one isn't quite scratching the edge. So let's move on to what would be a good crinkle for. How about the pouches? Let's do the pouches. So, one has small bubbles, the other one has bigger bubbles. Thank you. I'm not trying to signal you. I'm trying to do crinkle things, man. A little bit of whispering while we do the crinkling. And a little bit of whispering while we do the crinkling. And we'll do some whispering, whispering, whispering. A little bit of soft speaking tossed in, and a little bit of whispering, whispering, whispering. And some soft speaking with some whispering, with some whispering and some crinkling. And close-up whispering, a little bit of close-up whispering, while I'm also doing some crinkling. And some more close-up whispering. More close-up whispering. Getting much closer to the microphone. Getting close to the microphone. I'm gonna switch. I guess there's those now. A lot of this now is just bigger pieces of the other stuff we've already seen, except for this. This is my bit of rustly stuff. Not so crinkly as much as rustly, but I still like the sound of it. We're running down on about to be the next break. This will be the last break of the night because there's only roughly 20 minutes or so left. So. Okay, I'm going to take my last break for the night. Okay, I'm back. And I'll finish up a little bit of crinkling, then I'll think of something else to do. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll play a game or something to close out the show. I'm going to use the bigger bag of crinkle. It's the bag that contains all the other bags, usually. think I'll do for at least part of the end of the show is I'm going to play Nordle. I haven't played that today. So let me go to this bit here. Let me get out of here. Let me go to here. And there we go. And I should move my head, shouldn't I? Actually, yeah, oops, wrong. Not that. Come on, dude. Come on now. There we go. I'll probably just turn my picture off after a few minutes here, just because all of the screen will get filled up with grids here shortly. So. Wow. Giver wider. Man, I'm not sure. So I have 2 slots. What else can I come up with out of those 2? Well, let's say giver, I guess. Nope. So wider. Nope. Rider. Yikes. All right. Well, that's a pretty horrible start, isn't it? Oh, that one's cheap, isn't it? Okay. And what in the world is this one? I'm not seeing it. Wow, I'm not seeing it at all. Does anybody else have a guess? Well, it's not rapid, obviously. There's no D. That's what my brain keeps wanting to turn it into. But Man, I may have to. I don't know this one either, man. I just don't know. April? I guess that's got to be what it is. All right. Well, we got the second one, right? And I'll move myself over just a little bit again. There we go. So, skate or steak, and resin or let's say resin. Nope, rinse then. And oops, let's try that there. Nope. So it's going to be, and I don't know what this one is. Diner, minor, I don't know. Let's say diner. Yep. Not doing so well. You know, so I'm going to maybe just play a couple more. Here, I'll just turn me off. And this will be the last one I play because I'm not doing so well. Oops, I'm in the wrong window again here. Dang it. Adopt, maybe. And Baker, maybe. And Sally. And I don't know, what do you think? Goody, Woody. Dodgy. Yeah, okay, well, there we go. That's enough of that. So let me just come back to this mess here. And we don't have much time left, only about 10 minutes, so let me think of that. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just see if I can think of something to babble about. Is there anything that's happened interesting in the last week or so that's not been about various stresses and woes? I don't know. Daisy. Let me go on the other side too, I guess. So we can have a balance thing happening here. All right, let's put this back. Anything else that I haven't done? I think I've done all the basic triggers that I typically do. Kind of feel like I'm overlooking somebody, you know. Well, how about I don't think I've brushed on the wood grain on the chunk of wood. The good old chunk of wood. Let's do that. Do I post on TikTok? No, I don't have an account on TikTok. I can't have an account on TikTok. Apparently, I've tried. Well, it hasn't been for a while now that I've tried, but yeah, I couldn't get it to. It kept telling me, first of all, that I tried to have an account, and it kind of, I thought it worked, but then I tried to log back in, and it said that that's not right, and I said, okay, I guess I've forgotten my password, and then it said, okay, that I was in this weird loop where it said that I didn't have an account, and then when I tried to, well, I'll just create one, then it would say, you can't create an account using that email because it's already being used, you know, and I was like, it's got to be one or the other, man. Anyway, I couldn't get it to work no matter what I, entered in, that, which email I used or any of it. It just, so I got fed up and gave up. So no, I don't use TikTok. Although I haven't done anything with it, but look how long it took me to do Patreon, right? I mean, I signed up at Patreon and then I didn't do anything with it for ages. But anyway, so I've signed up at Twitch, and because people have recommended that I stream Twitch at the same time I stream this, which, apparently the OBS software will accommodate. I watched the video, I didn't actually watch the video. I sort of saw the video, I clicked on it, went, I should watch this sometime. So I guess it, what is it, TLDR, or, TLDW, I suppose. In any case, I think at some point I'll try to do streaming on both platforms. Where else does everybody go to consume ASMR? Because I only really consume ASMR here on YouTube. Do you watch ASMR somewhere else, Kate Manda? I just thought of a thing that might be a good thing to try on video, is getting a couple more of these types of brushes and then painting on things that have already been painted. I can't think of a good way of describing it. There's nothing relatively nearby handy to try. But I was thinking, I have a couple of knickknacks around the house that used to belong to my grandmother, and they're like these old, knickknacks you would expect a grandmother to have had that came from the 1950s or something. I mean, the knickknacks, my grandmother's older. She was born way before the 1950s. But that might be kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, I don't know. So I was just trying to think maybe I should try to figure out a way of diversifying myself as an ASMR artist, right, as opposed to having everything be in the YouTube basket. All right, yeah. I guess I should also look into how to get my stuff on other platforms in general, because I know that the French Whisperer, I'm pretty sure that he's one of the ones I've heard talk about how he has stuff on Spotify. So I don't know. I guess I just have to get better at being a professional sort of guy at this stuff. I mean, to be honest, I'd rather just make stuff and post it up and just have it all take care of itself without me having to worry about business aspects of it, you know what I mean? you know, well, we do what we have to do, don't we? Okay, we're inside of the last minute now. So, do I listen? Do I listen? Does anybody have any last minute questions or requests or some such thing before we call it a night? How did I get all this schmutz on my hand? Probably from that crinkle bag. I should probably be careful of keeping my crinkly stuff cleaner. Okay, Rob, I will see you next week as we come into the last few seconds here. Okay, well, the timer is now finished, so that means today's show is now officially over. I guess I will go ahead and say good night to everybody. Thanks for showing up, you guys. I'm really glad that, I have, at least some of you have found me and are still supporting me in the small endeavor of trying to reclaim my, once greater glory of something or other. I don't know. In any case, good night, everybody. Have sweet dreams and all of that, and I will see you in a week, and aloha, siblings.